And welcome back to the Cox 11 Sports Report. At this time, we're privileged to be joined by the National Recruiting Analyst for Baseline Hoops Scouting Report. That is my friend Johnathan Watford. Jay, thanks for stopping by.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me.
Not a problem. Well, tell us out there what you do year-round. You do a lot of work with Nike. You check out basketball all around the country as well as locally. Kind of a little bit about your background and what you do.
Great. Yes, I'm privileged enough to, as everyone knows, I'm a sports junkie. Privileged enough to be able to travel around the country, watching high school boys basketball. I evaluate that talent for college coaches. I run a scouting service called Hoop Scouting Service, which I basically send those reports out to college coaches, giving evaluations on the different players and things that I see nationally. On the consultant side, I do a lot of the evals and ranking things for camps such as the LeBron James Skills Academy, McDonald's, Jordan Games, and things of that nature, evaluating that talent, making suggestions and things for possible attendees and participants.
So you're a busy guy pretty much year-round. You don't get much sleep.
Pretty much.
Tell us about this 2013 class. We heard about a lot of these prospects when they were ninth graders, from Anthony Barber at Hampton, Rajay Bullock, Kickotan, Devin Hall, Cape Henry, Ramon Stone, Kellum, and now they're going on to college. Who do you see making an impact at the next level, and how special is this class of players?
As you stated, 2013 is a very significant class. It's a class that started out, a lot of changes and things came about with them, like with some of the NCAA rulings and things, but that class was pretty loaded early on. We kind of recognized them at the end of their 8th grade year. Some of the guys that you spoke of, such as Anthony Barber, Rajay Bullock, Ramon Snowden, those guys have made a continual ploy each year to just keep getting better and better and rise to the top. I think Barber will make a major impact once he reaches NC State. He has the opportunity to possibly come in and play a lot early on, and that should make really a big difference for him.
On the team side of things, you know, the regionals every year at the Norfolk Scope has been crazy. Any team that loses could very well win the whole thing. Any teams out there, give me 3 or 4 teams maybe to watch out for as we get closer to the tournament starting here in a couple weeks.
Okay, I think, as you stated, anything can happen in the regionals. You do have several teams that come out each year that are pretty standard. Looking forward to seeing those, some of the teams coming here out of the South Side, the Kellums. It really is a possibility maybe with Great Bridge kind of making a run there at the end, depending on how the seeding goes. And then that Peninsula District is always pretty strong with Hampton and Kickotan.
Hampton being the defending state champs on the boys' side, probably the favorite still?
Right. I would say they probably are still favorite. But as we know in regionals here in the Eastern region, the favorite sometimes doesn't always make it through with that tournament.
Hey, anything goes indeed. On the private school side of things, Cape Henry seems to be the strong team to watch out for.
Yeah, in this area, Cape Henry seems to be the front runner right now. They have a lot of talent, young talent over there that's starting to mesh and blend pretty well together. Looking forward to seeing those guys get into the regional and state play against some of the Bishop O'Connells, Paul VI's, and things of that nature.
Oh, that'll definitely be fun. How has recruiting changed over the last few years with AAU becoming such a monster, these kids playing at such an early age, colleges now being able to see them during the live period? How has recruiting changed? Because we're seeing kids get offered and committing at a higher rate than ever before.
Right. There has been some major changes with AAU. A lot of times the involvement as far as the amount of games and things that the kids are playing, there's a lot more travel involved in it now than it was in the days before. And I think what has happened here in recent years, we've gone to a lot of what we call showcase basketball. So these guys are getting out. Some of that is not to blame just on AAU, but the NCAA with some of the rules changes. Now, all of a sudden, as of last year, they started to allow college coaches to come back out in the spring. So there are 2 live periods in the spring in which coaches can come out to the events and see these kids play. So the exposure that they're now getting to actually play in front of college coaches has kind of increased that opportunity for a lot of them. And they're starting to see kids a little bit earlier on.
Last one, we'll let you go, and we appreciate your time as always. You look at this class coming in. You told me just a few days ago that the 2016, the freshmen in the area, including we got one at Woodside, Chris Orlino, who we've shown on the show before, and several others. This could be as good of a class in a few years as this 2013 class. So even though all these great seniors are leaving, we've got a lot of good young talent on the rise.
Yes, indeed. 2016 is a class that we're all on the national scene really keeping an eye on. Right now, they have several kids that are in that class that have come out from 8th grade to 9th grade that we've been watching. They have about 10 or 15 kids right now projected All-Americans. Several of those talents are here in the state, such as the Chris Olinias, C.J. Jones. We have some of those kids. It's going to be very interesting to watch those guys transition, but not only the ones that we already know, but some of those late bloomers that won't start to really show their skills until about their sophomore and junior years.
Well, it should be fun. We'll see you at the state tournament for sure, right?
Definitely, definitely.
That is Johnathan Watford, National Recruiting Analyst for Baseline Hoops Scouting Report. Check out his work. He'll be at all the gyms throughout the year and the playoffs. And we're out of time here from our partner, Chris Park. I am Matthew Hatfield. We'll talk to you next time right here on the Cox 11 Sports Report.